Sunday. Home and no ration feedback. Roll.
Good evening, everyone. Please take your seat. We're about to start the meeting. So we're talking. Pleasant good evening, everyone. My name is June Prasad. I am the first vice chair. I am filling in for Chair Rudy Daly, who just called me a few minutes ago, asking me to chair the meeting due to unable to attend. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is now 7:04. At this time, the next item on the agenda is chairperson report, but like I said before, he's not here. He was supposed to text me some info. When he does, I will bring that information to you. I'll now move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the district manager's report. Ms. Cherie Fraser.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Very brief. All night I'm hearing, what time are we getting out? What time are we getting out? So guess what? It's going to be a nice short meeting tonight. No in-depth report, other than to thank each and every one of you who made it out tonight. I know it's drizzling, the weather is bad, it's the holiday season, and we all have things to do. So thank you all for what you've done throughout the year. And for the past 2 months, we have been reaching out to community residents, asking you to update your email, your contact information. And that was for a reason, because we're launching our community newsletter next month. January, we finally got everything straightened out with DCAS and the back and forth. So we will be launching that next month. Please, if you would like to receive copies of the newsletter to be up to date with what's happening in the community, we do have interns that are working with our community partners, gathering information. So we have some forms in the back. Feel free to go to the back, complete those forms, and you could even hand it over to either myself or Ms. Farah, the assistant DM, who is right there standing in the back. So on behalf of the CB17 staff, I would like to use my time to extend our heartfelt holiday greetings to you and family, and to wish you a happy, healthy, and safe holiday. We wish you the very best and look forward to working with you in the new year. So thank you all for being here. Good night.
Thank you, Ms. Fraser. Moving right along, like we said, we'll be out of here very early tonight. The next item on the agenda is the community report. You have a question, miss? Oh, she just changed her seat. Budget chair? No report. Commerce chair? Yes, not here yet. Education and youth? Not here. Housing and Block Association? Not here. Land use / zoning? No report. Gonna be one of those nights? It was, okay. Thank you. Parks and beautification? Yes, she's coming up. Thank you.
Good evening, all, and happy holidays. Our event will be this Friday at 5 p.m. We have flyers out there. We have a lot of toys. Donation from Toys for Tots, Councilwoman Farah Lewis, Sesame Flyers, and community residents. They give us toys. Please come and help us decorate the trees from Councilwoman Farah Lewis. And Community Board 17. Additionally, on January 7, we'll have our first meeting of the year. We'll start with composting. So you all need to learn how to do compost so you can have a beautiful and clean community, know what to do with your things instead of putting them in the trash. Thank you all for being here, and I will be sitting at this corner. If you need to ask me any questions specifically for this event, please see me in the back. Any question for me, please see me there. Thank you.
Tell I'm not used to this, right? Public safety and transportation, not here. Sanitation and environmental, not here. Social services, not here. Personnel, not here. Postal services, not here. Sound like a broken record here. Communications? See? No report. Bylaws? Not here. Brookdale Cab? Not here. Okay, moving right along. Agency report. Agency report, that would be you. I don't see any agency here. Please come on up, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm Stephanie from the Brooklyn Public Library. I'm the branch manager at Rugby. So good evening, everyone. Thank you, or happy holidays and happy New Year. Just a couple of updates for the Rugby location. I just wanted to say we wrapped up a year-plus collaboration with Brooklyn Level Up in October, and we had a small dedicated cohort of local entrepreneurs that met every month and got small business advice from trusted professionals. And it was a great project, and I just wanted to say that. We have neighborhood tech help at our branch, at the Rugby branch, on Tuesdays now, from 1 to 5. And it is a time where people can come and meet digital navigators, and they'll be available for free, easy to access one-on-one tech help with personal devices or other online sort of questions. And this help is also available on Mondays at East Flatbush branch. Also in the new year, we are excited about a 5-week kids program called Anime Crew Shouju, which is in partnership with our Inclusive Services Department. And it is for neurodiverse girls about 9 to 12 years old, and or anyone else that's also interested in anime, the specific type of anime. And that's going to be starting January 14th at the Rugby branch. And then system-wide, most importantly for CB17, the Clarendon branch is going to be reopening in January on Monday, the 27th. That is the reopening date that we were given. And I know that the branch manager for Clarendon will be here next month to discuss that a little bit more fully. Other than that, the library has a new app that they launched. So if you don't have our old app, you can get the new app and download it from your app store of choice. And other than that, there is a new James Baldwin exhibit at the Central Library that opened on December 12th. It's a photography exhibit of his time in Istanbul, where he wrote Another Country and The Fire Next Time. So it's very interesting. And if you're around, check it out. All right. If anybody has any questions, I can answer them now. Otherwise, I'll be in the audience. And I thank you for your time.
Are there any questions for the public library? I mean, Rugby Library? Okay, hearing none.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any other agencies here? I don't see the police yet. Okay. I just received a text from Chair Daly. I should have gotten this to give the chairperson's report, but I'll take this time to read what was said. Happy holidays. Borough Board voted in favor of improving Prospect Park Playground. Next meeting, January 6th. Assembly Member Chandler Waterman will host a toy giveaway on Saturday, 12/21 at PS IS 198 at the corner of Albany and Farragut. We did not have quorum at the special/emergency meeting. The straw vote was 85% of the people that were in favor of removal. The Borough President Office is also seeking removal of the board member. There have been 4 actions filed against member of the board, all by or against the same person. Okay, I'm just reading what was said. All right. Office of the Senator Myrie will be closed from 12/23 to 1-2-25. Enjoy the holidays, and I will see you next month. This is the report from Chair Daly. I wouldn't be able to answer any questions since I'm just the messenger. Okay? The next item will be a community session. This session, we ask people from the public, they would like to have anything they want to say or have an event they want to share with us. Please come up to the podium. Oh, I'm loving this. No member of the public has anything to share? Okay, moving right along.
Hello?
Okay, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Oh, hi. Just want to let you all know that on Monday, at our district office, Senator
Can you
Prasad's office,
state your
12.
name for the record, please, and what
Sure, my name is
organization affiliated?
Tanika Strong, the Chief of Staff of Senator Roxanne J. Prasad. Just letting you know about our upcoming food distribution, which will be held on Monday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's for everyone to come. Our district office is located at 1222 East 96th Street. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else online has something to share? Hearing none. Moving right along. Legislative session. Please come up. I don't have who come when, it doesn't really matter. Please just come right up and speak if you don't mind. State your name and who you're representing for the records, please.
Good evening, everyone. Giovanni P. Quant from the Office of Councilmember Rita Joseph, Chief of Staff to Councilmember Rita Joseph and Education Liaison. We're here to wish you a happy holidays, and I hope all is well. And on behalf of the council member, we hope that everyone has a warm and wonderful Christmas and New Year, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and so forth. Councilmember Joseph has recently introduced the Luggage to Foster Care Youth Bill. For those of you who may not know, Councilmember Joseph is a foster mom. This historic piece of legislation that she has introduced will call on New York City, will call on the ACS City Agency in New York City to move away from providing Black plastic bags when youth leave the foster care system and moving towards providing luggage. So when they move from home to home, or if they transition out of the system, instead of giving youth Black plastic bags, they will now be receiving built luggages with resources as well. So that is a bill that has been recently introduced. Tomorrow, Councilmember Joseph will also be passing a piece of legislation particularly focused on city employees and when they move from city agency to city agency, ensuring that their health insurance transfer. That is currently not the case right now. And usually that can put some employees in a limbo when they are transferring from city agencies. So that bill will be passing tomorrow at the City Council legislative session, which will be the last City Council stated meeting for the year. In regards to holiday events that we're having, we'll be partnering up with Caribbean Equality Project at St. Paul's Church on Saturday for a holiday food distribution and toy distribution for youth and folks within the community. We also will be partnering up with Metro Plus on Friday from 2 to 5 p.m. between Church and Flatbush to give out toys for the holiday season as well. Looking ahead, we are very focused on the immigration concerns our community has, particularly with the upcoming administration and the impact with children and youth, and particularly with schools when it comes to ICE. So the councilmember is working with the Department of Education, ensuring that teachers know their rights, parents know their rights, and also the school communities are following the laws and ensuring that students are protected. Additionally, sanitation remains to be a concern in our community as well. So if you do see a corridor that is experiencing trash, heavy overflow, or if you may not have a trash can at a particular corridor where you think it may be needed, and so forth, feel free to reach out to our office, and our Director of Constituent Services and our team will assist in regards to that as well. And lastly, housing is obviously a concern. The City Council recently passed the City of Yes zoning reform, housing for economic opportunity, zoning reform package of legislation that will address the housing crisis, but also provide additional investments when it comes to infrastructure, preservation, and whatnot. So in the upcoming new year, we will be doing in-person community debrief sessions in particular corridors of the district to educate homeowners and tenants on what City of Yes is, the impacts and ways they can be getting involved, and other things that the councilor can be advocating for when it comes to infrastructure and other concerns that folks may experience. So that is all for today. I'll be here listening. Feel free to come up to me if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you.
Please state your name and who you represented for the record. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Catherine from the Brooklyn Borough President's Office. I'm here to wish you a happy holiday and hope everyone has joy throughout that holiday. A couple of things. One thing that BP Reynoso is proud to announce that the Community Board applications for 2025 are live. If you are an NYC resident that is 16 years or older, or who live, work, or have significant interest in a community can serve on the board. These applications will be live until February 14th, 2025, until 11 p.m. There is a flyer in the back that has all of that information. Also, just a recap, on November 22nd for Thanksgiving, BP Reynoso and his team had a Thanksgiving food distribution outside of Borough Hall, where we distributed over 60,000 pounds of fresh produce, non-perishables, and other food items to more than 120 Brooklyn houses of worship, community kitchens, and other community-based organizations addressing food insecurity and homelessness. Many thanks to our sponsors and their donations and volunteers. Also, it's been a very busy year. We have a pamphlet in the back that reviews some of the BP's big projects for the past year. Also, for the constituent services, our team is available from Monday through Friday from 9 until 5 p.m. or you by phone and email. But if you want to talk to them in person, you can come in to Borough Hall on Wednesdays from 9 until 3 p.m. And this is for any Brooklynite who needs any additional services. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next representative, please step up.
Charlene Harold. Hi, everyone. I work in constituent services. I'm with Team Rodney's Bashat Hermelin, the New York State Assembly member. On behalf of the Assembly member, we wish you guys a happy holidays. And I'll keep it brief. We just have a few announcements. This is the final week that we're collecting toys for the toy drive. If you have any wrap toys, please bring them to the district office on Flatbush and Foster. That's 1312 Flatbush Avenue. And then lastly, we're going to have our 10th annual State of the District address on January the 16th at our normal location, which is Brooklyn College. We have some flyers. You can use the Google link to sign up. If not, you can call the office and we'll register you there. And the office number is 940-0428. Thank you so much.
Any questions? You should take this opportunity. We don't very often have a lot of people here, so get the questions in if you can. All right, moving right along. Come on up, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ayanna Williams. I'm the Chief of Staff for Councilmember Darlene Mealy, 41st District. Couple of quick announcements. Normally, our regular scheduled programming is Mondays, we have a free immigration attorney that comes in. On Tuesdays, we have a housing specialist that comes and helps you with issues that you may be having with your apartment or your landlord. On every second and fourth Wednesday, we have a representative that comes to assist people with Housing Connect. They help you set up an account and show you how to navigate that system. Other than that, we are having our monthly Community Advisory Board meeting this Saturday, December 21st, at our district office, which is 400 Rockaway Avenue, between Picken and East New York Avenues, from 11 to 12:30. The flyer is in the back. Immediately following, we will be doing a holiday toy giveaway up until 3 p.m. It will be first come, first serve until supplies are over. I don't know how to put that, but until things are done. Wishing everybody a healthy and happy holiday and a prosperous and progressive new year. Thank you.
Thank you. I think there was a question before online. Okay, I can't hear you. He lowered his hand. Okay. Moving right along, can I have the next representative? Would that be Mr. Danny? Correct.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Heredia. I am the Legislative and Communications Liaison for Councilmember Farah Lewis of the 45th District. Hope you're all having a welcome entry to the holiday season this December. I'd be wishing for a white Christmas rather than a rainy one, but you know, we're happy that we're no longer in a drought warning as of Monday. So I guess we have to take the good with the bad. Some updates on some constituent matters in the district on what we've been hearing most from our office. We've been receiving an increasing amount of reports, especially on Schenectady Avenue, regarding abandoned vehicles. While we're no stranger to hearing a lot of abandoned vehicles report in the community, I want to acknowledge that while we're not joined by the 67th Precinct this evening, tomorrow is the 6-7 Precinct Community Council meeting at their precinct at 2820 Snyder Avenue. Our office will be there to allay some of these concerns that we've received recently. And I hope that anyone who has issues with abandoned vehicles or other concerns on their block in their neighborhood to attend. We'd also be happy to facilitate any individual conversations with Deputy Inspector Kozak, who has been immensely helpful to helping us address particular concerns in East Flatbush. I want to secondly highlight some of the legislative progress Councilmember Lewis has made in the past month. I'm sure you all heard at the last meeting that in November, we celebrated the passage of Resolution 280, designating November 30th as Shirley Chisholm Day in the city of New York. We celebrated this with an amazing celebration in partnership with the Parks Department at Nostrand Playground. And we are thankful for all of the community leaders, stakeholders, elected officials in attendance, especially your very own district manager, Sharif Frazier, who had joined in the celebrations. I also want to mention in the neighborhood a major success that we've had over the past few months. I appreciate Stephanie Zinn from Rugby Branch for mentioning this earlier. Since the city council hearing with Cultural Affairs and Libraries that Councilmember Lewis attended a few months ago, we decried the long time and overdue closure of the Clarendon branch. This is the Brooklyn Public Library branch that is located between Farragut Road and Glenwood Road on Nostrand Avenue. And mainly we were upset with the amount of delays that we've faced over depriving our community, especially in East Flatbush, from a long-time educational resource. So after much fighting and much negotiations and haggling between the Department of Design and Construction and Brooklyn Public Library with the former of which we are very familiar with at this board with needing to rectify particular situations. We are very, very happy that we were able to get the opening date of that library from later in spring to the current date of January 27th. This was not an easy fight that we've had, and we are immensely happy that we can celebrate this with the community. So as our branch manager mentioned, we will definitely have some more updates to share on the official celebrations that will take place on the 27th. We've heard the word tentative used. I better not be tentative, as the council member has said, but we are very excited to celebrate this major success with the community. Just very briefly, I want to echo Chair Balat's statement of our partnership that we have with our holiday party and tree lighting. This will take place at the CB17 board office across the street at Pattergate Park, Friday, 5 p.m. You can also join us to help decorate the tree at 4 p.m. And we also are conducting another event on that same evening later on at the Bridge Multicultural Advocacy Project on 1894 Flatbush Avenue. That is our Winter Wonderland holiday toys, food, and winter coat distribution at 6 p.m. We really do hope you join us. I've left flyers in the back. And again, if you need any information about all the other initiatives that our office is doing in our community, you can give us a call at 718-629-2900. And again, on behalf of Councilmember Farah Lewis, I wish you all a great evening. Thanks.
Go ahead, is it police officer Pierre? Okay, go ahead. The person who has a question or a comment online, please proceed.
You referring to myself?
Sorry, we didn't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Gideon with CB17. My name is Pierre Gideon. I'm with Little Haiti BK. And, our executive director wanted to wish everyone, happy holidays. And, we wish safety for everyone and that everyone enjoy their holiday. And at the same time, too, we do have, two events that we wanted to share. One is a cooking and compa event, where people will be able to learn how to make soup jumu, which is happening, next Thursday, the 26th. In addition to that, too, we do have another event coming on New Year's Independence Day, Haitian Independence Day, that we also want to share with CB17. We have online links. Sorry, we were unable to make it there today, but we did want to share these events with the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else online has anything to share? Hearing none, we'll move right along. The next item on the agenda is roll call. We'll ask the secretary to proceed with that. No.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be quick for roll call. Is this better? Great. Going through. Afray? Anderson? Anderson? Antoine? Bakrdin? Bellin? Bellin? Boatswan?
Present online.
And the icon, so. Baraton? Colin? Colin? Cunningham? Cunningham? Daly? He's not here. Daniels. Thank you. Duncan. Duncan. Freeman. Galbraith. Galbraith. Graham. Graham. Grandison. Grandison. Green. Hill. Hill. Humphrey. Humphrey. James. Jason. Jason. Jones. Jones. Julius. Lewis. Lewis. Lewiston. Lewison. Mark. Mark. Matherin. Matherin. McCabe. McLean Grant. Morris. Present. Mohammed. Olo. Olo. Hello. Uni. Aldrago. Prasad.
Present.
Pointer. Pointer. Renault. Renault. Roth. Roth. Selby. Selby. Shelley. Shelley. Smart. Smart. Stearns. Stearns. Swaby. Swaby. Sylvester. Thomas.
Excuse. Dr. Manel just came in.
Let me
Finish it, yeah.
finish it and then I'll spin back. Turson. Turson. Vigilante. Vigilante. Westcott. Westcott. Wilkerson. Wood. Two members just walked in.
Lewis and Dr. Manel.
Okay, Mr. Lewis. Yes, and Dr. Renault. Make a little yes.
All right. I know we don't have four members yet. Yeah. Just for the new members, I know you guys are probably wondering why I'm sitting in the chair seat. I just want to let you know he's unable to make the meeting tonight, so I am gracefully filling in for him. At this time, we'd like to invite Deputy Inspector Kozak to please come up to the podium along with our officers. 2 nights in a row, Inspector Kozak. Tomorrow night too, correct, yes. Welcome, welcome.
I'm always very cautious now here because last time I think I shut off Zoom or the microphone or something, or 2 times ago. Good evening, everyone. Light crowd tonight between the weather and everything, I guess, and the holidays. I'll give you a quick overview of where we stand so far kind of for the month, and then we're coming to the year's end. So right now, I'll give you the year's end where we kind of stand, and in January, I'll tell you how we really did finish with the final 2 weeks of the year. So, our crime data, for those of you that aren't familiar, it goes onto a public-facing website. If you go on newyorkcity.gov, you can go to 67th Precinct, and you will find our data gets published every Monday. You'll see where we stood for the week, the month, and for where we stand for the year. So when you take the look at the previous month, we have a 5% increase in crime. Now that is based on our top 7 index crimes that the FBI reports on: murder, rape, robbery, burglary, felony assault. That 5% increase is driven by an increase in felony assaults. The last time that I was here, and you'll see this for the year as the trend, we have a tremendous increase in felony assaults. So while we're either even or down in every crime category, we have a 36% increase in felony assaults here within the 67th Precinct. Now, your felony assaults are anytime somebody is struck with an object that could cause serious physical injury, which could be stitches or something worse. Also assault on police officers, assault on any public servant, and now with a public service person such as a doctor, a nurse. We have Brookdale Hospital, we obviously have Downstate Hospital, and we've seen a spike recently in assaults on nurses and doctors. This past week alone, we had 3 separate police officers that were assaulted. So that's really driven us. So last time I was here, I mentioned that it was domestic violence that was kind of driving that increase. Recently, we're seeing that spike more so coming from public servants and public service workers. There's also a recent change in the law starting this past October, where if you assault a retail worker in the course of their business, so that's anybody working in a business establishment, if they go in and you assault them in any manner and they have an injury, that will be considered a felony assault. So that may have an effect on some of our felony assault numbers going into the new year, as well as changes in the way we report. Right now, you'll see we have an increase in rapes for the overall year, not for this past month. But there's also a change in how New York State classifies rape, where we used to have Criminal Sex Act and sex abuse. Some of those crimes now are carried under that rape umbrella. So I would anticipate going into the new year, we don't change those crime classifications for prior years, but they will be changed going forward. So you will see a spike there. So again, moving on to the full year, we have another increase in crime, 4% increase. Where we're seeing that, like I said, we're seeing an increase in rapes, a slight increase, 44 versus 37. Burglaries, 185 versus 180, so it's a very small increase. But our largest increase falls to our felony assaults. We are up overall for the year about 150 to 170 felony assaults. So that is a 28% increase. These are record numbers for the 67th Precinct. We started keeping our crime data in the police department back in 1994 when they introduced CompStat. And taking a look at that historical data, we've had an incredible increase, a tremendous increase in domestic violence complaints, and that is really driving that increase. I don't know if I mentioned the last time, we have increased our domestic violence unit. Our domestic violence unit is responsible for outreach to victims. So anybody that calls in a complaint, even if they leave the scene before we get there will be a follow-up. As long as it's mentioned that it's some sort of a family, there is a follow-up, whether it's a phone call to see what the incident was. And if a report is made, you'll get an in-person or an attempt by the officers to come to your home and meet with you and see what services you may or may not need or be looking for. So I'm hoping into the new year, again, with that outreach, we're up to 2 sergeants and 9 officers to deal with that influx of domestic violence crime within the precinct. Overall, shooting violence, we've seen a very large decrease here. Homicides were down 41% for the year. Shooting incidents were down 17%. So what that actually translates to, we've had 6 less shootings for the year, but we've had 9 less victims, because every shooting incidents can have more than one victim. So 9 less victims there. And for shots fired incidents, we are down another 28%. We've had 60 for the year compared to 83 last year. One other program that, and I know I mentioned it, I was here, this is December, right? So I was here back in October. We were looking at building up our neighborhood coordination officer program. For those of you that are familiar with that or aren't familiar with that, basically the precinct is divided into 5 separate geographical areas by letters, A, B, C, D, and E. We're one of the larger precincts, so we get 5 instead of 4. That's supposed to translate to 10 cops that are supposed to be at your service through phone, email, whatever it is that you need. They're supposed to be having monthly meetings, or quarterly meetings, I should say, for each sector. We had, I think, 4 when I first got here. We were up to 7. We have 2 of them right here. This is our sector boy, which is, I would say, Like your everybody knows Flatbush Gardens, or someone familiar with Flatbush Gardens is, Notion Foster? There's your NCOs. So they're actually going to be running the Flatbush Gardens. They are here, though. If anybody has any concerns, if you live anywhere else within the 67th precinct, they can bring it back to their partners. So like I said, we're up to 7. I anticipate by the end of January. I really hope by the end of the year we would have gotten there, but I want to make sure we have the right cops. But by the end of January, we should have our full complement of 10 cops, and we're slowly rolling them out. Tomorrow night is the community council meeting. That's the precinct meeting, 2820 Snyder Avenue at 7 o'clock, right? 7 o'clock tomorrow night? 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The NCOs are there, along with some of our other officers. Domestic violence is there. So if there's any specific issues that you have that you would like direct access to the cops that are doing the work, I'll be there. They will be there, the NCOs, the NCO supervisor, and you'll have the opportunity to ask any specific questions that you may have. Anything anybody wants to ask me while I'm here?
Yeah, I have a question. Is this thing on or off? Not used to this. Inspector, I don't want to sound like a broken record.
Lotus Lounge?
I don't
No?
want to sound like.
So is that where you're going?
Yeah, you know where I'm going, right?
Yeah, so Lotus Lounge is,
I didn't even have to tell
yeah,
you
no,
where
I,
I'm going.
so a lot of work's been done on that. It started, I got to the 6-7 precinct in April, so this process started before I had gotten there. So Lotus Lounge is basically a club, but it's an unlicensed club. It doesn't have a liquor license. It's not licensed as any sort of club. It's licensed as an auto body shop, actually.
Correct.
So Lotus Lounge it's basically an event space, I guess we could say, but they sell liquor inside for some of the events, I assume. So prior to me getting here, they started to try to have the place shut down. So Vice went in, did some work. I think last time I was here, I mentioned that they were served with paperwork. They were going through the court process. The courts did not decide to shut it down despite
'Cause I was
the
about to
work
say
done by
that.
Vice. It's up and running again, right?
I
So we're
noticed that.
starting to see over the last week or two, the 911 calls coming in for there, the 311 calls coming in for there. It's a challenging corner. You know, it's not the only establishment there. In the summer, leading up to, Labor Day, we do have a pan yard there. We have another bar there. We do have a lumber yard that does get a temporary license when they have events, but it's also near a residential area. So it comes with a lot of concerns for the residents that live over there, and I think very valid concerns. And it's an influx of people between all the different events over there. So right now, as far as I'm aware, they were allowed to reopen as per the judge. That doesn't mean we're taking our eye off of it. So our officers are still working over there. If they continue to commit illegal acts, and when I say that, I do mean illegal sales of alcohol, illegal sales to, and I don't know if it's underage or just sales in general, we'll continue to proceed the way that we were and hope that the courts do shut it down in the long run. But, the officers, like I said, the Vice unit was out there. We've been out there. Our nightlife team works out there. Over the summer, we had a very successful summer in terms of gun violence. We took 2 shootings each month, which is a very low number. You have to go back about 10 years to find numbers to that low within the 6-7 precinct. We had 2 of those 4 were in the corner outside. And I'm not going to say it's specifically from Lotus Lounge because there are other locations there. But it's concerning that it's happening outside of the location. So we're keeping an eye on it.
Please do, because it's very unfair for the licensed establishment. Because
Agreed.
if anything happens within that 4-block radius, they're the ones who's going to get it on their license. And it's totally unfair. So I will be on your case.
I agree.
because
Expect you to.
I live in that area. I get complaints all the time.
Yeah.
So thank you for,
Of course.
I'm surprised that the judge didn't close them down. I mean, someone got killed in that place, right?
Someone was shot inside the location this summer, and then, like I said, there was one incident outside.
All right.
But, any incidents more than you should have inside of a club. I know I mentioned last time, you, in those locations, you live and die by your security. And you succeed by your security. And if your security is not properly searching people as they come in, you're putting your customers at risk and the community at
Definitely.
risk. But trust me, there was a lot of hands on deck. You don't know the number of calls that I had. And with our legal department, I trying to figure out how we're going to proceed with this, the request to the judge, because we know they're operating out of their license.
Yeah.
And that I would have thought, been enough to shut it down,
Exactly.
but it wasn't,
Okay.
unfortunately.
The floor is open for any questions, please, for the Deputy Inspector. please take this opportunity because normally we don't have a lot of time for questions. So please ask as many questions as you can. Okay.
I've never seen this at any meeting for myself, here or my last precinct, but okay. Happy holidays to everyone. My last tip is if you're getting packages delivered, which I'm getting delivered like crazy the next few days because I put off shopping, try to sign for it. Package thefts are up, as you could imagine, pretty much everywhere. So try to sign for it, have your neighbor sign for it. Happy holidays, and I'll see you all in the new year.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much, and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you as well, and the team. Be safe out there, guys. You're my patrol guys. I'll be looking for you. NCOs, correct. Mhm. I noticed two chairs walked in. I'd like to find out if they have a report. Public safety and transportation, do you have a report? Okay, no report. Mr. Hill, sanitation, do you have a report? Please be brief.
Mr. Hill, as typical, you'll have 3 minutes for your report.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You'll have 3 minutes for your report.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Happy holidays to everyone. My report basically goes as 2 months ago, we had official from sanitation join our committee meeting, and we relayed specific concerns to Mr. Caruso from that sanitation. As per the board members at our meeting recently on Monday, there hasn't been any changes or anything addressed that was relayed to him. I'm going to be reaching out to Mr. Caruso and also hoping to get the help from Ms. Farah Lewis's office to help to coordinate that effort to hopefully get something done. The community is very frustrated with the lack of work from sanitation and the lack of communication, the lack of response, and that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Are there any questions to sanitation chair? Thank you, sir. At this time, we'd like to invite Josh Peer, District Leader, to address us, and followed by Dalton Robertson.
Good evening and happy holidays, Community Board 17. It's been quite some time since I've had an opportunity to visit. Madam Chair.
Oh, just
Yes.
replacing Chair Daly tonight.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
So I just want to let the community members know that coming in the 2025 election cycle, we will be looking for more folks to come and work the polls. If you'd like to work on the election polls, whether it's early voting or general election or primaries, or if there's a special election, we strongly encourage you to reach out to the Board of Elections. You take a quick exam. As long as your name is in the pool, you'll be allowed to participate, and it pays fairly well. It's a couple of days, but it's also a way of doing your civic duty. I also want to say, from my part, that as we go into this year, in our community, there's some trepidation about the changes in government nationally, et cetera. We here play a very special role, despite the fact that there are so few of us here relative to how many people live in this community. When you sit here, you represent hundreds of tenants, hundreds of homeowners, and hundreds of business people, besides all the other things that we do. And you safeguard the interests of seniors as well as our youth. So I recommit myself to my community work, and I look forward to working with all of you in the coming year to make sure that we do what is necessary to make sure that our community members feel safe, but also that we prosper. We have to continue to find new ways to get into businesses, create jobs, and support our local businesses. So I look forward to you all having a happy new year and happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome back. So Josh Peer used to be a board member of Community Board 17, for those who've been way back. Thank you.
There was an online question? Sorry.
Excuse me, can you not do that, please? Thank you very much. Dalton, go ahead, please.
She wants to ask him a question, so. Good evening, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Dalton Robinson, representing Assembly Member Monique Chandler Waterman. Just a brief report. We have two events coming up this weekend. One is the Vital Voice meeting that she has every third Saturday of the month. This meeting will be at PS 198. Doors open at 12, and she also has a toy giveaway at that same location. Basically the same information that we give you each time we come to the meeting. Every Thursday in our office, we have Housing Thursdays where you can, anybody with problems with landlord tenants and need to know exactly what to do, we can assist you with that as well. And we still continue to support the community as far as Utica Christian Project is concerned. We still have training session going on, and anyone who's interested can still call our office to get that that information. Our office, again, located at 903 Utica Avenue, between Church Avenue and Snyder Avenue. Any information that we do not present to you this evening, but you need it and think we can help you, please do not hesitate to call the office, 718-385-3336. That's 718-385-3336. We will make an effort to assist you in whatever way we can. I'll just take this opportunity now to wish each and every one of us a very joyous and prosperous season. See you next year. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Are there any questions for Mr. Robinson from Assembly Member Monique Chandler Waterman's office? Hearing none. Did you have a question for Josh Spear? Was it a question? Wasn't sure.
I was uplifting an online question.
Okay. Is the online question still available?
They wanted to know what day was the event that the gentleman was speaking of earlier when he spoke.
Who's that, Mr. Robinson or Josh Spear?
Mr. Pierre?
Mr. Pierre.
What is the day of your event? If you could reiterate.
You got to come back because they won't hear you. And speak louder, maybe they can hear you online, I'm not sure.
I'll add some bass to my voice. So we have our annual toy drive tomorrow evening, December 19th. It will be held at 1515 Nostrand Avenue from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. If you'd like to participate, first of all, there's no fee for participating, but if you can, we do encourage you to bring an unwrapped gift for children below the ages of 16, essentially. So if you can come out and participate, it's a great opportunity to meet other community members who are just as active as you are, as well as some of your elected officials and judges who routinely stop by at these meetings. These types of events is one of the rare opportunities that you have in the community to actually meet some of the judges that are in civil and Supreme Court here in Kings County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Rennell, I forgot to ask you if you have a report. I'm sorry. Did you please come up if you do? Okay, the Housing and Block Association report is on the table. Feel free to pick one up. And Commerce Chair, or you'll speak when it's Commerce time? You have a report? Okay, no problem. All right. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of the minutes. However, we do not have a quorum, so we cannot approve the minutes. Do we?
Madam Chair, point of order, can I speak on the minutes?
Sure.
Okay, I don't think we received the minutes.
Okay. Did anyone receive the minutes? No. Okay. I was.
But can I just very briefly address this issue?
Okay.
The board is governed, is my mic?
No, it's not.
Thank you. The board is governed by New York City Charter and by the Open
New York Public Officers Open Law, which requires minutes. It's not optional. The law very clearly states that within 2 weeks of a public meeting, we must make those minutes available. We are in December now, and we have not had minutes for September, October, November, and that's totally unacceptable. The bylaws were amended in April of this year to make it very clear that it's the responsibility of the board's employees to prepare the minutes. And I think we need to make sure that as a board, we're in compliance by ensuring the minutes are prepared and made publicly available as required by law.
Okay, point taken. Ms. Fraser, would you like to address that? Thank you. Please come to the mic. Please come to the mic so we can all hear. Thank you.
Minutes are submitted by the secretary. The staff will have the minutes ready. Thank you.
Okay.
Not to delay the point, what we're saying here is that the board secretary is now volunteering to take on that responsibility.
Okay, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying, so what we're being told right now for the very first time is that the board's secretary is volunteering to take on that responsibility. So if the board's secretary is volunteering to take it on, we need to make sure that the minutes are available, because I'm saying to you that per the bylaws, it is not your responsibility. The bylaws were amended this year to make it clear it is the board's employees' responsibility to prepare the minutes, and that cannot be changed arbitrarily by anyone else here. Thank you.
Okay, point taken, Ms. James. I did remember last year we had a big discussion about who's responsible for the minutes. Ms. Fraser, let me speak. Ms. Fraser, I'm not going to have any disruption. I'm going to give you a chance. Let me speak first, and then you have the floor. Thank you very much. I recall there was a big discussion about who is responsible for the minutes. If it's not clear, as a board, we need to address it again. Because yes, we have not received minutes since September, and that's unacceptable. Let me finish. Whoever the responsibility it is, we will get to the bottom of it as a board, okay? You have the floor now, Ms. Fraser. Go ahead. Your mic is off.
No.
You can come up.
You want to take this one?
No problem.
All right.
That's okay. We have a lot of time tonight, right? Chair Daly is not here.
Want to get out. And we don't have a long agenda either.
Correct.
But the bylaws were amended, but the bylaws are very clear. So if we need to have the bylaws interpreted, thank you, we need to do that, because the bylaws are very clear that the secretary record the minutes and take the minutes of the meeting and turn over such, and that's the word that's in the bylaws, turn over such minutes that he took or she takes from the meeting to the staff. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I will definitely forward that to the law department for interpretation, because the bylaw said he or she is responsible for recording, he or she is responsible for taking, and then turn over such minutes that are taken to the board so that we can get it to the members of the board. So I just want that to be very clear. That's the amended section of the bylaws, and it's very clear. Such minutes are turned over to us. Thank you.
Okay, no, Ms. James, I got it. I agree with Ms. Fraser. But Ms. James is an attorney. She was the bylaws chair, and she was the one, along with the committee, that did, you not hear me? Yeah, we did. Okay. That did the minutes, but we're not going to go back and forth on this. We are going to take it to the legal department of Borough Hall and for them to interpret it, because sometimes things are written and everyone has a different interpretation of it. We need to get this cleared once and for all. Jane. Okay. We're going to move right along. Thank you. So we cannot vote on the minutes because we don't have a quorum. Moving along. The next item on the agenda is public hearing. I know we cannot vote, but Commerce Chair, I'll invite you up to the podium just to see if the representative are here, and you proceed with your doing. We cannot vote, but we're just going to hear what they have to say. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Hassan Bakrdin, Commerce Committee Chair. Just as a point of order, we did not have Trinity Breakfast Shed, did not attend our Commerce Committee meeting last night, nor did Oval Sports Bar and Lounge, so they will not be here this evening. However, we should have representatives from cannabis, for the cannabis dispensary license, Rockaway Moonshot LLC. Come on up, guys. Come on up. And they're going to give their presentation of their business to the community, of their new application. Yeah, I'll let them come up. Go right there. Is that mic on, by the way? Okay, yeah, go right there. So give us your presentation of your company, and then, of course, the board members will ask, any questions that we have. However, unfortunately, because we don't have quorum this evening, we cannot vote, just to let you know, okay? But go right ahead.
Hello. Thank you, board members and committee members, for this opportunity to share our plans of our business with you and the community. My name is Sean Robinson. By me is my wife, Shannon. We are the owners of Rockaway Moonshot. We will be doing business as All Good Cannabis Dispensary. And we seek to operate our adult use retail dispensary at 3401 Avenue H, number 5, between East 34th and 35th Streets. The location is compliant with all New York State proximity restrictions. There's over 1,000 feet to the nearest legal dispensary. The closest schools are over 2,000 feet away. House of worships are beyond 1,000 feet. We are going to follow all strict aspects of the operation, adequately lit frontage and security cameras. The staff will all be trained on compliance. This business, the cannabis industry, is a very highly regulated and is subject to inspections and audits by OCM, the Office of Cannabis Management, and at least 5 other enforcement authorities. We will be checking IDs prior to entry. No one of minor age, no one who is not allowed to be in there will be allowed to be in there. We will be hiring local for all of our staffing needs. From the local of age college kids to our older population and neighbors. And we'll try to work with as many local businesses, local vendors and service providers as possible to ensure that we are trying to build a community all together. It's pretty much it. I'm Sean Robinson. I am a veteran of the United States Army. I'm a small business owner, entrepreneur. I'm a father. And I just really want to have the opportunity to serve the community.
Thank you. And I'm Sean's wife, Shannon. So nice to meet everyone. I do have a long background in education. I actually worked in schools within neighborhoods of this community district about 7 years ago. And I do have a strong commitment to education, and that's really my background. So it's nice to meet everyone.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
Is this new Trend Pharmacy? Is that 3401 Avenue H?
It's number 5. So that building is divided.
Okay.
So that
Was the church.
It's next to, I'm very familiar with that neighborhood because I live not very far from there.
Right.
So
yeah.
I
So
thought
that church closed
3401
down during COVID.
So it's the church. The church has closed down. So you're next to the pharmacy then?
Yeah, it's the pharmacy, the hair salon, our spot. There is
Got you.
illicit smoke shop. They're going to be taking down that sign from that smoke shop.
Oh, there's a smoke shop just went up there.
Right.
Got you.
And then,
Okay.
yeah.
I just got the number mixed up because I see 3401. Okay, that was my question.
All right. Anyone else has any questions?
Hello?
Committee members, by the way.
Hello?
Yes.
Sorry.
State your name, state your name.
Committee member Kadiatu, oh, sorry, board member Kadiatu Odrago.
Yeah.
If you-
Questioning why this neighborhood or community to open up a
Yeah, I
cannabis
mean,
shop?
Flatbush has been, excuse me, has been, the junction specifically has been very close to my family for many different reasons. Whether it's been my son growing up and his friends, that being the place they would go to feel safe, to now it's become a place where our family does a lot of our daily errands and doctor's appointments. So we live in an area now. I did live in Brooklyn and around these areas for a long time as a single mom. Where we live now is Rockaway, which is quite remote from a lot of places, which is why Flatbush has always been the place we go, the place our family is in transit, and the place that's kept my son safe at 1 a.m. at Applebee's when no one else was open and he missed his bus. So thank you to the community for keeping my kids safe.
Okay, are there any other questions?
Any other questions from the board?
Go ahead.
No other questions?
Yeah, there's a question here.
Yes, sir.
Hassan. What's that?
Nope. Hello? Okay. You said you're the owner of Rockaway Moon?
Rockaway Moonshot is the name of our LLC. We
Moonshine.
Moonshot, yes.
Moonshot,
Like a
okay.
Big idea.
That's the LLC, but then this would be the first business that you're opening in the neighborhood?
The Moonshot DBA is All Good Cannabis Dispensary.
Okay. And I know you mentioned that you're X number of feet from the next legal cannabis shop. Where is, like, what's the closest legal dispensary to you, to this location?
Brooklyn Exotic, which is,
Mile and a half away.
Yeah, it has to be at least 2,000 feet. Yeah.
yeah, there's several.
But I don't think we.
Legal versus illegal.
Yeah, we know that they're illegal shops. So I'm asking what's the next, because ideally those are being closed down. So if we're in a perfect scenario, I'm trying to figure out how close the two like legal shops are to
mile
each other.
in this case.
1 mile.
Yeah.
Okay, you said
Not
Brooklyn
even-
Exotics?
Brooklyn Exotic.
Thank you.
Oh, that's the one.
Yes.
That's the one in 42nd, Farragut and 42nd, I think, no?
Flatbush.
Flatbush.
Flatbush? Okay, gotcha. Mhm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's guys.
Any other questions from our board? Yes. Please go to the mic.
I have
Wait a
two
minute.
questions.
Are you,
you're
you're not a board member, District Leader, I apologize. Sorry. Yeah.
Good evening. I'm a new board member. The name is Donna McLean Grant.
We can't hear you, ma'am.
Can't hear you, dear.
You just gotta talk louder.
Donna McLean Grant is my name. I'm a new board member for Community Board 17. Had some history working in terms of workforce development with Hochul's $2 million grant that she provided to Lehman's College and BMCC. So I'm actually the PI for this particular grant. So I have two specific questions for you. One, as it relates to personnel, will you be having security as it relates, physical security in your premises?
Yeah, we actually know Venus from the MCC.
Okay, you
we
do.
were,
Okay, she's my
we
employee.
participated in the program the cohort that they just finished with the security. And we were able to connect with Diesel over there with Majestic Security. So we will be having a third-party security provider on hand during all hours that staff is there, not just hours of operation. So if staff has to come in and take care of inventory an hour or so before we order or open, then we will have security available then. And then the security and compliance is a huge thing. So a full array of cameras and motion detectors for the windows, panic buttons, and a buzzer at the door.
I'm the program director for that program. I
It's a
just
great
left.
program.
So nice to meet you. Yes, thank you for your work.
Another point is I'd like to find out, how do you propose to contribute to this community as it relates to your business being located here?
For sure. One thing that the state did well in taxation this time is that they've set up a tax bracket for not only the state, the city, but also our local community that our store is in. So basically it's a 4%. So for every $100 that we sell, the community gets 4. So You multiply that to $1 million, that's $40,000 that comes back to the community. So we're hoping to have a great impact financially to the community so that we can build the community back however we all collectively think is correct.
And separately, we will engage with NGOs within the community. And that's something we talked about on the Commerce Committee last night, that we would also be engaging insight from the Commerce Committee and the community itself. Because we understand that we must do all good. That is our ethos, all good. We want to do all good to this community.
All right. Any other questions? All right, hearing none. Thank you guys so much for coming in and doing this exercise again for the second time. I did want to mention that the Commerce Committee, we took a vote last night. We did have quorum. So we had 5 yeses, we had 5 abstentions, and we had 3 noes. So we were not able to effectively support that, but they're here today and presenting to the board. So you'll have to come back next month. Unfortunately, because we weren't able to have quorum to vote on this this evening, because we need the full board in order to do that. Okay, so you might have to go through the presentation again to the full board for next month. All right.
Are there any board members who arrive after the roll call? Can you please stand so we can add you to see if we have quorum? I think we're missing 4. Yeah, so we just hang tight.
Hang on a second. Maybe
Mr. Hill,
I have Phil.
can you state your name, ma'am? Yes, please. Humphrey. We got you, Dr. Ronell. You got Swaby? Kanisha. Swaby, you got Swaby.
Is now yes.
And Kadisha.
And Khadijah, last name? Alua.
Chair, I just have a quick question. The other
Sure.
cannabis shop, BK Exotics, is it technically in CB 17 or is it in a different?
Say that again?
Is BK Exotics in CB 17?
It's 14. Yeah. Yeah. It's not us.
If I recall, we don't have any legal license cannabis in CB 17. What's your name, sir? Kevin Jason?
Jason.
Yeah. I think you can have a seat. We do.
Yeah, you guys.
forum.
Thank you again.
And we're
you.
gonna
We
vote in a
appreciate all of
minute.
your time. Thank you.
Your name, ma'am?
Got you.
Okay,
Now.
so. Thank you for that, members. We have you, Ms. Sabi. Space says 26. Yeah, we have. quorum.
We do?
We do.
All right. According to our chair for this evening, June Broussard, we do have quorum, so we should be able to vote. So certainly you'd be voting, obviously, a yes if you are in favor, no if you're not, or an abstention as well. But thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commerce Chair. The secretary will now proceed with the roll call for the application. Yes, if you're in favor, no. I think he just said that. I just want to repeat that because sometimes we're not clear. Okay? Are you ready, Mr. Secretary? Let's give him a few more minutes.
And the vote is to support the subcommittee. I mean, not the
No,
subcommittee.
just
the Commerce
just
Committee.
call the roll call, please.
Afre? Antoine? Bakerdin? Barrington? Daniels? Daniels? Oh,
Hermenia.
Hermania.
She said no.
Freeman. Graham. Graham's not here. Okay. Green. James. Julius. Lewis. McCabe. McLean. Morris. No. Muhammad. Aluo. Uni. Aldrago. Ms. Prasad.
That would be a yes for me.
Renault. Sylvester. Wilkerson.
No.
I'm missing some names, the new names that came in. And have them beside. So,
If you, he's, 1 second, can you please stand because he had the names, the ones who came in late, or if you did not hear your name? Swaby,
Swaby, yeah, no, I was just about to say. Swaby, your vote's yes. Hill, your vote's.
what's your vote, Mr. Hill?
Jason? Abstain. And Whitney, 0. Last name Humphrey, thank you.
Go ahead, ma'am. Did you hear?
Mark, and she said yes. And Jason.
Okay, while he's tabulating the votes, you have something, let me just make a quick comment. Everyone is entitled to vote whichever way they feel please. I sat on a OCM call when cannabis application came out, and this question was asked: if the community board vote against an application, what will be done? They said they will review that application and they'll make that final decision. I just want to share that with you guys. For information purposes, is similar to the SLA, the state liquor license application. That's their take on it, okay? While he tabulates the vote, we'll let the applicant know whether they, we'll give them a letter of recommendation or not, okay? Mr. Lewis, you have the floor.
Special order of business. The motion from last month, November.
I didn't get to that yet, we're just finishing cannabis.
It's okay. I'm making you aware of it.
Okay.
Special order of business, since we have quorum, we need to finish that vote and make sure that it's on the record.
Well, as Mr. Daly stated at the executive meeting, that we will not be doing that. Borough Hall will be handling that. I just got a call 5 minutes before this meeting, or 10 minutes on my way to the meeting, asking me to chair the meeting. I will not be doing any vote because as he told me, he did not ask me to do that. And I was told at the executive meeting, Mr. James, Mr. Lewis, at the executive meeting, he said that Borough Hall and the executive members here will be handling the situation.
Point of order, Ms. Vice Chair. This is a motion that is outstanding on the floor, so it's not a new motion. This is simply a roll call for vote. So I believe Mr. Osney has the ability to call for that vote.
Again, I will state that I was not informed to be doing this. This has to be done in executive session. And if you
It
notice,
does not have to be done in executive.
Mr. Lewis, we're not going to go back and forth.
So
Point of
you're
order,
saying
that
that
is
you're
correct.
stopping the vote?
Listen, one at a time.
You're
one at a
saying that
time.
you're stopping the vote?
Because Mr. Daly did not advise me to do that. And on top of that, he stated that the
Mr. Daly
executive.
doesn't have to advise you to do it. We did not have, we had quorum. People left. We did not have quorum. I brought up the motion. I come again to bring up the motion again. We have quorum now. We need to do the vote. If you are saying you're not doing it, say that outright
Well, I
for the
see.
record.
Okay, I would say it outright because Mr. Daly said at the executive meeting that Borough Hall will be handling that situation. I am not going to be doing any voting. That's not on the agenda for executive session. Fair enough? That's my take on it. Correct.
The vote on the cannabis application is as stands. 11 votes yes, 11 votes no, 4 votes abstaining. The motion doesn't carry. It's a no.
Okay, as you heard, Mr. Chair, unfortunately, the committee board will not give you a letter of recommendation. However, you can proceed whichever way you fit, please. Thank you for coming. No problem. Thank you. Are there any special report by board members? Go ahead, Ms. James.
Yes, as the former bylaws chairperson, I just want to read into the minutes exactly what the bylaws says. And that's article number 2, section E, duties of the secretary. The secretary shall be the supervising recording officer of the board, taking minutes of the executive supervising recording officer of the board, which means we're taking minutes of the executive committee and the board's monthly meetings or special emergency meetings. The compilation of such minutes shall be primarily performed by staff designated by the district manager. The compilation of such minutes shall be primarily performed by staff designated by the district manager. Thank you. That's all the bylaws says.
Thank you, Ms. James. Are there any other special report?
I have a
Members?
special report.
Go right ahead, Mr. Secretary.
Fine, that's my work phone. They'll be okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy holidays. As secretary for CB17, I'd like to take responsibility for the minutes being missing. It is completely on me. I am just a person in this community. I hope you guys could bear with me as I try to complete this task, and it's a little daunting for me. And that's it. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you for that. However, we're still going to visit the bylaws for Borough Hall Legal for interpretation, okay? So depending on who is responsible, that will be done, okay? Thank you very much. We appreciate you, but minutes has to be recorded according to the bylaws, and we'll move that forward. Are there any unfinished business?
Yes, I'm sorry. I am trying to ensure that in relation to what just happened with Mr. Lewis in regards to clarity on the matter is addressed. relating to the vote that he was calling for in relation to the board member. And it is my understanding that Mr. Lewis was in his right to call for that vote to occur at this time. That is not allowed to have been, that is not allowed to have commenced at
Were you
this
at the
time.
executive meeting last month or this month?
I'm an executive board
No,
member.
I said, were you at the meeting the executive meeting this month?
I was present.
Okay, are there any other, were you there? Okay, I am going with what Mr. Daly said at the meeting. He said that this matter, Borough Hall is taking it up from there. I've already stated, I am going by what Mr. Daly said, has nothing to do with a motion to the floor. He said that Borough Hall said they would handle that matter. Mr. Daly called me 5 minutes before this meeting, asking me to step in to cover him. I am not comfortable doing any voting on a matter that he said Borough Hall will handle.
Points of order,
Miss-
Vice Chair, Ms. Wilkerson.
Wilkinson, the matter is closed.
The matter is not
The
closed.
matter is closed. I am chairing the, why do we have to always get into these back and forth?
I apologize. I in no way, shape, or form do I mean any disrespect your way as a chair, as an executive board member, or as a person. However, the matter is not closed. It is an unfinished matter. And secondly, as an executive board member that was a part of the meeting last month where Chair Daly did clarify to all of the present executive board members in the space, he did make the points clear that Borough Hall would require us to still commence a vote relating to that outstanding matter pertaining to the board member in question that we are voting upon to refer to the OATF, the oath office. That is absolutely the case. And in regards to Borough Hall's own activeness on the matter, that is aside from the community board's ability to commence with the vote. So that is why I wanted to interject a point of clarification, because that was my understanding. And Mr. Osney, excuse me, Mr. Lewis, Board Member Lewis was again within his capacity as an acting board member to call for a vote on the floor.
That was not my understanding. I stated my position. I am chairing the meeting tonight, and I am not going to do any voting because Chair Daly should have informed me earlier that I needed to run this meeting, but from my understanding, that's my interpretation. Let me finish, please. Right. There's nothing here that,
For a point of clarity,
let me just finish with all this stuff.
We have
Mr.
quorum.
Mr. Lewis. I'm gonna have order in this meeting. I am
Yes.
not Chair Daly. You will speak when you're addressed. Is that okay? Respect me and I will respect you. Okay?
Ms.
Yes,
Ms.
Mr.
Prasad
Lewis.
is correct. I'm sorry.
One at a time, please.
can I ask a question?
I
please?
addressing.
I would like to ask a
Miss-
question.
Mr. Hill, you have the floor.
Thank you.
I mean, what is it?
So I was also here for the last meeting and,
Not the last meeting, the executive meeting or the general meeting?
both.
Were you, okay?
My understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Chair Daly said that Borough Hall will be making their own decision, but we were also supposed to vote, which is why we were in the process of doing a vote. And if that was not the case, I don't understand why we would have been in the midst of conducting a vote if Chair Daly's position was that Borough Hall was going to take care of the matter. That just doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's
So-
what he said.
Well,
Okay.
but I don't understand how you're saying he said that if he was trying to conduct a vote. So which they both can't be true at the same time.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
in order for whatever needed to be done, they would have had to put executive session on the agenda. That's not on the agenda because it's a private matter. And he did not inform me. I got a text from Chair Daly, like I said, 5 minutes before this meeting, asking me to chair the meeting. I will not conduct any vote regarding to whatever previous issues is going on. I was told by him that Borough Hall is handling that matter.
Point of order, sorry. First Vice Chair Prasad is the chair of this meeting, and she can conduct the meeting as she sees fit. We may disagree or may not disagree, but we can't force her to call a vote. So I move that we move to the next item on the agenda.
Thank you.
My comments
Thank you.
actually.
It was second. Mr. Hill, please have a seat.
Thank you.
Please have a
Mr. Hill,
seat.
do have a seat.
Thank you very much. Ms. Wilkinson. can
I
you
wasn't
proceed,
speaking.
please?
I wasn't speaking.
Okay, thank you very much. Mhm. We are at old business. Are there any old business? Hearing none? Any new business?
Yes, I have a separate question.
Go right ahead.
Is it within the capacity?
I can't hear you clearly.
Is it within the capacity of this proceeding to be able to call for a vote to override the chair?
No. Override what chair? Me? I'm just acting. I'm not the chair.
Well, the acting chair, is that not
No,
possible?
you cannot. There's no such thing on the agenda here. Override what? What is there? What are you overriding?
Can I call for a second? Not a second, but
I'm sorry,
let's
the-
call a motion. I'll come down.
It's new business. It's not a motion. I'm still not going to do a vote, so
I'm not asking for a motion for the vote. Hi, everyone. I'm calling for a motion for us to formulate some type of actual documentation for onboarding for new community members and some sort of sensitivity training so that we're all aware of how to treat everybody equally in the workplace. Can I please?
Chair
get a
Oni, I second that motion.
Thank you. Could we please bring this motion to a roll call? Chair June Prasad.
I don't know that we have the numbers.
we don't have,
for-
we don't have quorum. People that right?
So, yeah, so I think
Yeah,
that
we
motion
don't
needs
have-
to be, that
That
motion needs to
has
be
to be
tabled
tabled.
for the next meeting when we do have quorum, but that motion is still on the table.
It's still on the table.
And please bring it up during,
Bring it up.
please bring it up during old business during the January meeting.
Everybody's speaking at the same time. I can't really hear clearly. Yeah.
You gotta
All
make a
right.
special record of it, please.
I don't have to make a record, just, it's on recorded. It's recorded. The meeting is recorded. Chair Daly will be here next month. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at a second, please? Thank you, Hassan. May I
Chair
have
Oni,
a
I
second,
second that
please?
motion.
Thank you.
Seconded.
I'd like to wish everyone a happy holidays. Thank you very much.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. Holidays.
Happy holidays to everybody online.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, right? Happy holidays.